Who Dat Nation, hold your breath. A massive shift is shaking up the Saints' backfield, and the future of a true franchise legend is officially on the edge of a knife. We have all seen the rumors and the bold new acquisitions, but is it finally time to move on from our veteran superstar? The tension at the facility is palpable, and the looming question of his role, or his very spot on this roster, has everyone talking. Stick with me through this entire update to see how this situation unfolds. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. The New Orleans Saints franchise has entered a complex period regarding the future of legendary running back Alvin Kamara as the team prepares for training camp in 2026. After 9 seasons defined by his elite performance, the current reality for the Saints is centered on significant roster transitions. The arrival of 27-year-old Travis Etienne via a 4-year, $48 million contract this March marks a fundamental shift in the team's offensive approach. While Alvin Kamara holds the status of the organization's all-time leading rusher and a top 5 receiver, his age 30 season resulted in a notable decline in production. This downward trend has changed the internal perspective at 5800 Airline Drive as the organization navigates a new era of football. The narrative has shifted from relying on a singular veteran icon to integrating younger talent with less wear on their tires. For the Saints, the primary question involves balancing the legacy of an all-time great with the functional necessity of roster efficiency. As the team looks toward the upcoming season, the presence of Travis Etienne, who logged nearly 300 touches during his final campaign in Jacksonville, signals a move toward a different backfield dynamic. Alvin Kamara faces the reality of potentially playing a diminished role, a stark contrast to his consistent performance levels throughout his tenure. As training camp number 60 approaches, the focus remains on whether Alvin Kamara's historical contributions align with the future trajectory of the squad. The fan base, known for their passionate "Who Dat" chants, now watches as the organization evaluates if the veteran can adapt to a secondary role, or if his time in New Orleans is reaching an inevitable conclusion before the September opener against the Detroit Lions. The significance of Alvin Kamara to the current Saints roster remains a subject of intense evaluation as the team progresses through organized team activities. Even in a diminished capacity, the value of a seasoned veteran cannot be entirely discounted, provided the output justifies the salary cap allocation. If Alvin Kamara were to maintain a rotation that secures approximately 10 touches per game, he could theoretically contribute significant yardage to the offense. This is especially relevant given the heavy usage Travis Etienne saw during his time in Jacksonville, which may necessitate a secondary contributor to maintain offensive longevity throughout a grueling 17-game schedule. Beyond the primary rotation, the Saints are also monitoring the development of younger players like Kendre Miller and last year's 6th-round pick, Devin Neal. The recent performance of free agent addition Audric Estime during the 2025 season has also sparked interest regarding future depth. For the coaching staff, the challenge lies in managing a room that is no longer bare, providing more options than the team has utilized in several years. Despite these options, Alvin Kamara brings a wealth of experience that is difficult to replicate. The central tension revolves around financial and tactical realities. Would a player of his stature be willing to accept a pay cut to serve in a backup capacity? Furthermore, the organization has yet to provide clear indications that they prioritize his return for the 2026 season. As the team prepares for their matchup at Ford Field, the uncertainty surrounding his role is the primary focus of the front office. The Saints are weighing whether the veteran's remaining utility outweighs the financial flexibility that could be gained, making this one of the most pivotal decisions of the current offseason. Analyzing the career arc of Alvin Kamara reveals both the immense success of his past and the clear indicators of his recent performance decline. As a 3rd-round selection in the 2017 draft, his impact has consistently outpaced many of his contemporaries, including notables like Cooper Kupp and Chris Godwin. Ranking 3rd in the NFL in yards from scrimmage over the last 9 seasons, trailing only Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey, his resume remains indisputably impressive. However, his physical profile has evolved. The power, speed, and shiftiness that defined his early career have become less prominent in his game film over the last 3 seasons. Specifically, the explosive plays that were once his trademark have become rare. He has managed only 2 receptions over 30 yards since 2023 and has not recorded a single carry longer than 24 yards since 2022. This lack of explosive output raises legitimate questions about his ability to impact games at his previous standard. When considering his 2025 output, 471 rushing yards on 131 carries and 1 touchdown, the conversation regarding his future takes on a more pragmatic tone. In addition to performance concerns, durability remains a critical factor for the organization. Alvin Kamara has struggled to remain available, playing more than 14 games in a single season only once since 2020. Having missed the final 6 games of the previous season and 4 games in 2023, his injury history poses a recurring challenge. For the Saints, the decision to retain a veteran with these health and production constraints, while simultaneously integrating younger, more durable assets into the backfield, represents a major tactical crossroads that will define the team's offensive efficiency for the 2026 campaign. Why does this matter right now for the Saints? The current situation surrounding Alvin Kamara is critical because it directly influences the team's offensive identity during a transition year. With a rookie quarterback and a shifting offensive line, the stability provided by an experienced presence is often cited as a benefit for a young, evolving room. However, the salary cap implications of keeping a veteran in a backup role are substantial, especially when compared to the rest of the league's secondary running backs. The team must decide if the mentorship and potential rotational value are worth the financial premium associated with Alvin Kamara. Furthermore, the role of offensive coordinator Kellen Moore becomes vital in this assessment. If the team decides to move forward with the veteran, his usage in the screen game, a staple of his past success, would need to be reconciled with the heavy workload designated for Travis Etienne. Last year, Alvin Kamara saw a rebound in receiving yards, finishing with 543 yards through the air, yet his total offensive consistency has fluctuated wildly. The team is currently balancing the need for veteran leadership against the reality that they have not shown a strong interest in keeping him long-term. As OTAs progress, the lack of a resolution regarding his status creates a lingering question mark that impacts how the rest of the depth chart is constructed. The Saints are effectively in a position where they must prioritize the development of players like Audric Estime and Kendre Miller, while simultaneously navigating the contractual legacy of a franchise icon. This balance is not just about the current depth chart. It is about establishing a sustainable strategy for the 2026 season and beyond, as the roster undergoes a significant talent turnover. The background of Alvin Kamara provides necessary context to his current standing within the New Orleans football landscape. Born in Atlanta in 1995, he emerged as a dominant high school athlete at Norcross, eventually becoming the nation's top recruit before his journey through Hutchinson Community College and the University of Tennessee. His rise to professional prominence was characterized by a rapid ascent into one of the league's most versatile threats. Throughout his 2 seasons with the Volunteers, he demonstrated the same power and versatility that later defined his early years with the Saints, collecting nearly 2,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. His personal history, including his Liberian heritage and family life, remains a part of his story, yet the focus for the franchise is firmly on his professional viability in the present day. Even as he recently expressed that he is 100% healthy and has no personal issues with Kellen Moore or Travis Etienne, his presence in the building does not guarantee a spot on the final roster. The reality is that the NFL is a business of transition, and even the most accomplished players eventually reach a point where their production no longer aligns with their team's strategic direction. As the Saints head into training camp, the narrative of Alvin Kamara will continue to be evaluated against the performance of the younger players who are now competing for his touches. Whether he remains a fixture of the backfield or moves on to a different chapter, his 9-year impact is etched in the team's history. For now, the organization remains focused on the upcoming season opener, keeping their eyes on the roster mechanics that will dictate their success on the field in 2026.